great screen share to go through. Let me hit a couple housekeeping topics before we get started. I would like to spend the next, let's call it 20, 25 minutes, just doing a quick overview for you, talk about the company, what you can expect with a career with us. And then I'd like to transition into more of a traditional one-on-one interview. Let's talk more about you, what you bring to the table. And at that time, I'd like to be able to get more of your questions answered. So instead of doing it kind of open mic here, what I would prefer to do is have you grab your tablet, grab a pen and paper. As I go through this company overview, if you want more information about something or something needs a deeper, more detailed explanation, I will do that in our individual time. I would like to keep this short and sweet on the front end. So write down any information that you have that you want to know more about. And then after this call, I will have Kaylee reach out and set up a time when we can talk more individually. So with that, let's get started. My name is Shireen Smith. I am the division sales leader here in our Colorado office. Been doing this about 20 years. And I can tell you very honestly, this was not the career path that I thought I was going to pursue. I took the same path as many people. My parents said, go to college, get a degree, get into some kind of an industry. So I did, graduated from UCLA and had my business degree and actually went into an advertising career. Now, when I got out of college, I was just looking for who was going to pay me, right? I wanted the best offer that was going to be on the table. So I went to work for the highest paying advertising firm that gave me an offer. It was about $32,000 a year, which I got to tell you at 26 feels like an incredible amount of money. Spent a few years working in that industry, rising up the ladder, putting in a lot of time, really kind of learning that corporate America is a lot more give and very little receive. But I was working it. And by the time I got to about, my early 30s, I had kind of peaked in my industry. I looked around and realized that I had gotten to a position where I'm at the top of my game. And my income was right around $42,000 a year. And that was all I was going to make for the rest of my life. Meanwhile, working 60, 70 hours a week, putting in time on the weekends, taking my laptop home and not getting any true love from the company I was working with. So I got a little disenchanted with the corporate structure because I wanted more. I wanted a better life. When you look at getting married and starting having children and buying a house and getting, in debt, you really need to have more working for you. So I decided that I was going to make a change, and I put my resume out there. And I got contacted by a lot of insurance companies. Maybe you guys have been through, the same experience, but I didn't know anything about the industry. So I started doing my research, figured out that banking and insurance are the two fastest growing, largest industries in our country. And I learned why as I became a part of it. So I'll share that with you later. But I wanted a better opportunity. I talked to a lot of people and they said, hey, this is a great industry. You can make a lot of money. You can have a lot of freedom. You can, be your own boss. And I thought, all right, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So I went out, got my license and jumped into the industry. And I spent the first probably 5 to 7 years of my career jumping around to different insurance companies. I worked with companies like Primerica, AIL, Health Markets, Coventry. And it's not that there's anything wrong with any of those companies. I just don't think that I really heard what they were offering when I was signing up to join the company. They said that they'd help me figure out who to sell to. Well, but they pointed me towards my cell phone and told me to call my friends and family. That wasn't really what I was looking for. They told me that they'd teach me, but then they gave me a bunch of brochures and said, read this stuff. So I take blame on myself for not advocating for a better company that was going to help me more. But I also say, if you're going to give leads, give leads. And if you're going to give training, give training. And if it's a great opportunity where I can make six figures, show me the money. Don't just tell me that, well, actually that manager over here, that one guy that you work for, you're going to help him make six figures. And so anyhow, I kept moving on. Along the way, I met that very handsome gentleman who's pictured on the cover of the magazine with me. His name is Ron, and he's kind of what kept me going through all these companies to look for something that was really going to be rewarding, something that was really going to be financially rewarding, and something that we felt we could do. So we got married, been married. Actually, I have to update my slide. It was 18 years on Monday with 4 beautiful children. And we are totally committed to being in this industry because we were fortunate enough in 2010 to come back in contact with a gentleman that we had met early in our career. And his name was Troy McQuaig. And I encourage you to Google him, McQuagge, first name Troy. Amazing business man, very visionary. And he wanted to start a company in 2010 and invited us to be a part of it. So we jumped in, and it has been the most amazing decade of my life. I got to tell you, we've taken a company from 30 people sitting in a small meeting room in a hotel in New Orleans to over 3,000 people representing our company nationwide, over 57 offices coast to coast. And we've tapped over $1 billion in revenue in the last 2 consecutive years, even last year during a pandemic, from a company that didn't even exist a decade ago. So it's really been an amazing ride. The best part is we've just touched 1% of our market share. So we have a whole lot more future in front of us. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today, is who the company is and what the future looks like here. But in order to do that, I got to give you a tiny history lesson. See, 2010 is when the company was formed. And that's not by surprise. There was a lot going on in the country. There was a lot going on in this industry. A bill had just recently been passed called the Affordable Care Act, or healthcare reform. Sometimes you guys may have heard of it as Obamacare. But that bill was going to change how Americans were going to receive their health coverage going forward. And Troy, being the visionary leader that he was, he read all 2,419 pages of that bill, and he realized, okay, there are going to be people who are helped by this bill, and there are going to be people who are left out in the cold by this bill. And we should create an opportunity to help those who aren't going to get the help they need. So the people that are helped through the Obamacare marketplaces are definitely people who need a subsidy. So people who are low income individuals and families. The government actually has set a bar at 400% of poverty level for people to be able to get some help with the cost of their health insurance. So when I was looking at, what is that poverty level? For a single individual, it's someone who makes less than $12,000 or $13,000 a year. And for a family, it's someone who makes less than $30,000, $40,000 a year. So there's definitely a lot of people who were able to receive subsidies. But here's what we learned. There's about 45 million Americans who don't qualify to get their hands on any of that help because they make too much money. The other people who were really able to get help because of the marketplaces were people with pre-existing conditions. Because if you had a heart attack or you've got something chronic like diabetes, you couldn't just go out and get your own individual health insurance prior to 2014 when the marketplaces opened based on this bill from 2010. And that bill said that, going forward, 2014 and beyond, all the companies that were selling their health plans on the marketplace would have to take anybody regardless of their health. And that's good for people who have pre-existing conditions. Unfortunately, that's bad for 85% of the American population who is healthy, who doesn't utilize their health insurance for anything except maybe an annual exam, an occasional accident where you maybe, twisted an ankle, had to get some stitches, maybe go to the doctor for a sinus infection, because the cost of caring for people with pre-existing conditions was being spread equally over everybody who's on the American marketplaces, and the cost of the premiums kept going up. So Troy said, what if we could create a health insurance program in the private sector, not offered on the government marketplaces, but actually offered to any individual who, one, was not looking to be subsidized by the government because their income didn't allow them to do so, and two, people who are healthy and didn't want to pay exorbitant prices because it's a plan that caters to the sick. So he got some of the best minds in the business together. People like Ron and I. Here's our office right here at I-25 in Arapahoe, open for business. We are coming to the office every day. Of course, I'm going to respect if you want to wear a mask. I'm also going to respect if you don't want to wear a mask. Our desks are 10 feet apart. Nobody's showing up sick. We're trying to get back to normal. And we want people who want to join our team and be part of a normal business world again. He got an insurance company out of Fort Worth, Texas called US Health Group. They were willing to custom design the health programs that Troy envisioned, and a nationwide not-for-profit organization called the American Independent Business Coalition. This is actually a nationwide not-for-profit organization that allows us to connect with those business owners and those self-employed individuals and those families who are not receiving health coverage from their employer, but making too much money to get it for free from the government. So they needed some help. Those two companies under our parent company of United Healthcare, which is the world's largest, not just the country's largest, but the world's largest insurance company, we're able not only to create a fully comprehensive health insurance program that covers everything after a small deductible, includes doctors and prescriptions, even virtual doctors, which these days post-COVID or on the edge of COVID, everyone's using virtual doctors visits, and dental and vision and disability and life, all in a portfolio that is a representative of our company we can take to the American marketplace that costs less than the Obamacare programs and is far more user-friendly. You can use these programs in any state across the US, at any doctor, any hospital, even crossing state lines. So Troy really did it. He hit it out of the park with creating the best health insurance in America. And we know this because over the last decade, we've been given award after award after award: sales, customer service, innovation, financial stability, social responsibility. I mean, the company has just been growing. Even last year, there was no award ceremony held, but the insurance company that we represent, US Health Group, was given the Gold Award for being Company of the Year, and Troy himself was given the award for being CEO of the Year for his 5th consecutive time, which actually earned him a Lifetime Achievement Award, all because he chose to look at a problem that this country was having from a different perspective, to choose to create a private sector health insurance that is both more comprehensive and more affordable, and then wrap a career agency around it to provide career opportunity to people who want to help others and make a significant living for themselves. Now, Troy didn't just come up with a great business plan and a great health insurance product. He also came up with the ability to put the tools into the hands of our salespeople to make them successful. One thing that we do is we provide company-sponsored leads. And I think this is very important because, as I said, when I was looking for a career, I talked to a lot of companies who offered me business listings. They offered me my own friends and family and contacts from my phone. They offered me leads that were 9, 10, 12 years old. Leads was a big deal. So I'm proud of Troy for enabling us to receive internet-generated, individually resourced. So someone has gone online, put in their name, put in their email, put in their phone number, and made a request for some of the products and services that we can offer them. Now, they're not preset appointments. You got to call the lead. You got to find out what they need, and you got to see if we can help them. But when we've got those names and numbers, it certainly keeps you from hanging out at the family barbecue, asking your cousins and your aunts and your uncles if they'll buy products from you. We get all these leads to you real time. Our sales associates choose their own choice of lead management system, an online service that works like a CRM, but also as a dialer and allows you to send emails, send texts, send voicemails, all with the push of a button. And then we'll put those leads into the system as fast as we can possibly get them. Hundreds every single day, thousands every single week, just for our local team. So there's always going to be somebody to reach out to and find out if we can help them get better or more affordable health insurance, in most cases, both. So the leads will be available to you, but I want everyone on my team to understand that the leads are designed to be a hand up, not a hand out. You're giving them, first off, because when you start a career, you got nothing. You don't have any referrals. You don't have anybody, knocking down your door asking for your help. So use them as a way to launch your career, but also grab a hold of the other tools that are put into your hands along the way to help you build a more stable sales platform, because you're not reliant on one source like company leads. You can also utilize your agent website, which is created for you professionally, that you can use as a point of contact for all social media: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Let's get you online spreading the message of our more comprehensive health insurance so that you can then channel those conversations through your personal agent site so that you can get in touch with more people and have those conversations directly in your email and your text. That's what Ron and I are here to do. Not only teach you how to use the tools that the company provides, the website, the leads, but also teach you how to network, also teach you how to get referrals, also teach you about the products and how to sell and how to close and how to overcome objections. I spend most of my week either virtually on a Zoom call or in our classroom here in the office, helping you as a new agent understand how to be more proficient at what we do. I feel like the more you are confident in what you're talking about, what you're selling, how you're explaining it to a customer, the better you're going to do in sales. The other thing that we've got, which is a great opportunity, is we have real-time hands-on training here in our office, to where from the very beginning of your career, you're going to sit side by side with top performers in our office. For example, Ron. Ron is our sales floor leader, will sit next to you. You guys will make phone calls together. You'll run appointments together. You'll quote customers together. You'll close sales together. And the best part is those sales, those first ones that you're making together, he's going to pay you, not put the money in his pocket, because you're the one that needs the boost. You're the one that's launching your new career. And we can do that kind of sales training where it actually results in a sale, all from the comfort of our office, because we're selling virtually. And this is something, guys, that we didn't start in 2020 because of a pandemic. Okay, we've been doing screen to screen share sales since 2016. So we know that a customer doesn't want us driving across town and sitting in their kitchen. We want to access every corner of the state of Colorado. And sometimes that takes a 6 or a 7 hour drive. So why not do it just like you and I are doing right now? Computer to computer or computer to smartphone. It's much faster. It's a better use of our time. And not only does it allow us to reach every client that we can here in the state of Colorado, we can also go into the other 29 states that we do business in, all from right here in our Centennial office. Now, if he's put this much time into the tools we use, and he's put this much time into the products that we sell, as well as the company itself, don't you think he would have put a lot of time into compensation as well? I mean, it's kind of a given. But there's 5 different income streams that are available to you as a new rep here in our office, starting with weekly advances on new customer sales. So every new sale that's in the system by Thursday at the close of business is direct deposit compensated the following Monday. We have monthly bonuses for top producers and quarterly bonuses for everyone. And our income structure is built on something that is very unique to the insurance industry called residual income. See, this is why banking, this is why insurance tend to be such huge draws for people and such a huge industry to work with it. Because in those industries, every single time a customer makes a payment, You, as their personal agent, continue to get paid month after month after month. Think about it. Banks make money, but car salesmen only make it one time. If you go out and sell a car, you're going to make your commission when the car gets sold, but that's it. The next day you come to work, you got to find another car to sell. Do you know the bank that holds the note on that car every single month when that customer makes their car payment, they get a little extra off the top to pay themselves. That's how the insurance world works. We'll get a little more into detail in that in just a minute. And then we also have a profit sharing program, an opportunity from your very first year with the company to share in the great growth of the company that you're helping support. So here's where you guys might want to take a couple notes. I'm going to go through the income streams, but I'm going to do it at a real high level. If it doesn't make sense, if it isn't enough information, or you just want to know more, take a note. When we have our one-on-one talk later today, I'll go into as much detail as you want. Just in the interest of time, I'm going to keep it pretty short. I'm using an example of a $500 sale. That would be a customer spending $500 on their health insurance per month. And that is representative of a lot of different companies, because health insurance premium, in case you don't know it, depends on the plan that you're covered by, the size of your family, the ages of everyone in your family, and the zip code that you live in. So if you're in your 20s and a single person, it's going to be a lot less than this. And if you're in your 60s and married, it's going to be a lot more than this. This is a family in their 20s. This is a couple in their 40s, just to give you perspective. But I thought if I used an average number, I could show an average compensation. So with the company, every single time that you collect $500 from the client, you will be compensated the Monday after that sale goes in force, a little bit over $1,000. Now that seems pretty generous, right? You give the company 500, they give you 1,000 back. Most sales companies, if you give the company 500, they're giving you 100, 125. But Troy knows that sales, while a whole lot of fun and very rewarding, is not always easy. And if you are only getting paid $100 per sale, how many sales do you have to scramble around this week to make just to pay your bills, right? 10, 12, 15? If he could use the way insurance works to compensate our sales agents better, well, then you could focus on making fewer sales and a larger income. So remember a few minutes ago when I said every single month when the customer makes a payment, you as the agent will be compensated. All Troy's done here is give you 8 months of that compensation at the time of the sale. So you get 8 months on the Monday after the policy goes in force. So that's why 500 equals 1,000. And then you can focus on only making 1 or 2 or 3 sales each week, which is going to put you in a stronger financial position. Now, don't worry, you're getting paid more than just 8 months. Month 9 and month 10 will come in their own time, but we're not on that slide yet. We do have monthly bonuses for our top salespeople, $125,000 on the table every single month for the top 75 salespeople. And we have our quarterly association bonus. Now, this is a little bit different. This is a compounding bonus. So this is a bonus that rewards you for every single customer that you help throughout your career. What we're able to do is every single sale that you make, every single quarter is paid out to you. The numbers that I have on the screen right now are from a woman who began working with me 6 years ago. This is a snapshot of her first year with our company. So in the first quarter, she made sales to clients, quarterly bonus rolls around, she gets $456. Woohoo! She was so excited, she bought a new pair of shoes and took her husband out to dinner at Perry's. Now, next quarter comes along. That association bonus grows to over 1,000. Why? It's all the people she helped in the first quarter, plus all the people that she helped in the second quarter paid out. And she's averaging 3 sales per week. So she's clipping along and growing this, as you can see, pretty successfully, right? Third quarter, it grew to 1,700. Fourth quarter, it grew to 2,300. But here's the great thing. It doesn't stop after the year and reset. It continues into the second year, into the third year. So you can imagine 2 years in, 4 years in, 6 years into your career, what a significant quarterly bonus this can be for you and for your family. This comes out to us 4 times a year: March, June, September, and December. And we got our March bonuses last month, and in our very small office, our largest association bonus handed out was a little over $17,000 for the quarter. Think about that. 17,000 4 times a year. Well, that's about 70 grand. For some people, that is a salary. Here, that is our quarterly bonus, our third income stream out of 5. Now, I stop after these first 3 because this is what I like to call the today money. Okay. Getting, 1, 2, 3 sales made each week, qualifying to be in that top 75 a couple times in the year to get a share of that $125,000 bonus, plus building your compounding quarterly bonus over your career. And I call it the today money because this is the money that runs through our fingers today, right? This is how we pay our bills. This is how we get out of debt. This is also how we buy that new car or move into that new condo or whatever it is that we're looking to do. That comes from those 3 income streams. But Troy wanted us to have a more secure future in sales as well. So he put these other 2 income streams in our hands to give us long-term financial stability as well. Residual income. Every single month when a customer makes a payment, you as the agent are compensated. I've said that a couple times, but it's literally the foundation of how insurance is built. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's why people get into this industry and stay in it. Because think about it. You get 8 months of your compensation at the time of the sale, but month 9, paid. Month 10, paid. Month 11, paid on every single client that you help. Our goal in your first year with the company is to get that residual number up to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per month. That way, going into your second year, if you work the same way that you did in year 1, you can look at about a 20% income increase in year 2, just off the residual income from the prior year. And then in year 3, you've got residual from 1 and 2. And in year 4, you've got residual from 1, 2, and 3. You can see how this really can grow when you stay the course with your career. I've been here 10 years. Most of my sales were in the first 5 or 6, but I still make sales today. And my monthly residual is about $20,000 per month. I don't know any other company, any other industry in America where you're going to go to work today, and then 10 years from now, they're still going to be paying you for work you did in the previous years. Very, very exciting opportunity. But now why I'm here. I came because of Troy. I came because Troy wants us to be part of something great. The formation of this company has grown from 30 people to 300 to 1,000 to over 3,000 because Troy understands that the biggest asset that we have is our people. And he wants to give back to those who work hard for the company every year. And so he has an annual agent investment or a profit sharing where he takes profits right off the top. And instead of giving them to a board of directors or an ivory tower of executives, he gives them back to the salespeople in the field because you're the ones that helped make the company successful anyhow. This year, in 2021, we have a $1.47 billion sales goal. Last year was 1.15 and we blew it out of the water. This year, when we hit our goal, $26 million will be taken right off the top and split amongst the top 400 salespeople. And this is something Troy's done throughout our company, significant 6-figure checks. And it's a real deal. And it's a real game-changing deal. Ron and I, over the years, have received $140,000, $160,000, $244,000 in real cash money that we were able to get out of debt, pay off homes, invest, put ourselves in a position so that when we do decide to retire from this career, we will have the ability to do so quite comfortably. All right, in these last couple minutes, guys, I just want to kind of break away from telling you about the company and tell you a little bit about what I'm looking for when we talk one-on-one. Because this is a very special company and it's a very special career. And so I'm looking for a unique individual. This is not something that everybody is going to be able to do. Sales, while simple, is not easy. And I feel like someone who can see the potential for success here is willing to put in the hard work that's necessary. You don't make a six-figure income with a half-assed job. You cannot do so. So I'm looking for people who think like CEOs, but also think like entrepreneurs. I always say, if you get the head of a CEO and the heart of an entrepreneur, you're going to be a very successful person here. And here's why. This is your business. We are independent contractors. We do it as a group. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. That's why we bought an office building. That's why we have collaborative trainings. That's why we work side by side. That's why we have sales meetings to celebrate each other's achievements. You're not on an island. You're part of a team. But it is still your franchise, if you will. Individually, you are responsible for making the business work. We're going to train you. We're going to coach you. We're going to mentor you. But you got to put the gas in the tank to make it go. If you were a franchise owner, say of a Pizza Hut or of a Dunkin' Donuts, first off, you'd have spent at least $250,000 to get it started. And then you'd have to have a business strategy, a plan to make it work. You know, if you don't like to work early mornings, it wouldn't be a good job for you to get a Dunkin' Donuts franchise, right? You roll in at 10 a.m., everybody's already got their donuts. Everybody's already got their coffee. Or, hey, if you like your weekends off, you want to, have time to be with your friends and your family, so you don't want to work on Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays, you'd be the worst Pizza Hut franchisee ever, because 87% of pizzas are sold on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you got to have a strong plan. You got to know the 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week that it's going to take to make that six-figure income is absolutely necessary, but absolutely possible in this environment. And I want your entrepreneurial spirit to come out. Just because we do something this way today does not mean that we should always do it. I want you to be creative. It is your business. Think of new ways to get customers. Think of new things that you can do to grow your business. And that's why we collaborate. And that's why we have sales meetings, to share with each other what's working, what's not. Hey, I tried this. Hey, I'm doing that. So that together as a team, we can grow our businesses individually. Now, I can teach you 97% of what will make you successful, but your work ethic, your self-motivation, and your desire to be successful are an absolute must. So do an internal temperature check. Are you the kind of person who's willing to put in the time into your own business, into your own career to reap those rewards? Or do you want to, punch a clock somewhere and have somebody stand over your shoulder at your cubicle and tell you what to do for 40 hours a week? Because yes, that might be a little less intense, but it's certainly not going to be near as rewarding. And it's certainly not going to get you the income that we can provide here. Now, of course, I want people who are competitive and accountable, have high integrity and strong character. But the biggest bullet point on here is our mission of hope. Helping other people every day. That's what we do. We don't get up and go sell. We get up and we go help. It changes how you approach a customer. Getting a customer into a better position than what we found them in, that's the goal every day. And that's what keeps us going on the phones, on the screen shares, helping clients. But we don't just help customers. We help our families. Make sure you take care of your household within your own four walls, but then take care of your extended family. Take care of your community. Take care of your churches. Take care of causes that you believe in, both locally and nationally. Troy wants us all to embrace a mindset of helping and serving, because it gives our company what so few companies have these days: a true heart and a true soul, and people who are actually here to do the right thing, make a great living, and help others. Now, the last two things I want to talk about before we go: you do have to have a license to do what we do. Both health insurance and life insurance are a licensable entity here in Colorado. So you got to do a background investigation. No axe murderers allowed to get their licenses in the state of Colorado. You got to get appointed with an insurance company. They need to know you're going to work with somebody. And then you got to study for and pass 2 tests, both multiple choice, 110 questions each, one for health, one for life. And the good news is you got to get a 70% or better, which is the lowest C possible. And I'm here to help you get through the whole process. I'm going to get you connected with the study materials. I'm going to get you the extra study help you need. I'll even quiz you if you need me to. Because once you pass the test, then you have your license, and then we can get to work on the phones, helping you be successful in your career. Now, there are small costs associated with going through these steps. It's a total of about $200, $250 that breaks up over the first 2 to 3 weeks, as far as paying the state for the license, paying the school for the studying, paying the test proctor to give you the exam. Some of it I can help reimburse you with. Some of it I can put some incentive programs. Obviously, I can't pay for a background investigation. You're a 1099 independent contractor. That would be a conflict of interests. But we will make sure that you have not only an opportunity to be reimbursed if you complete your testing in the allotted time, but get $100, $250, $500 in gift cards straight from the company just for achieving sales in those first few weeks, which Ron is helping you do. Then we've got additional cash awards, additional marketing support, and the ability to help you get licensed in other states. Because once you pass the test here in Colorado, you don't ever have to take another test again. You just pay the fee in another state, and all of a sudden, boom, you have your license and you can make sales in that state too. So hopefully today I've shown you the path to a great company with a great product, with a lot of tools, training, and mentorship in place, and the ability to get you from maybe knowing nothing about this industry into a successful career, helping people and helping yourself for the long future.